All right, everyone. Thank you all so very much for joining us again. Today, we're going to be talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta makeups, slip ups, and cover ups. This is episode 11 of season 15. Erica, what's going on?
Um, I kind of was laughing at a lot of stuff this episode. I laughed about the confrontation with Candy, or the way that Drew ended up confronting Candy. I felt like Candy did though. I was giggled, joked out. Let's start there.
And scene.
And and the way Candy handled hers about like you act like I can't repeat this shit. I was like, you hear me? You hear me? I'll say it again.
I was loving it. I was
And I
absolutely loving it
and I
because I have done that so many times in my life. Like, yeah, I said it. Like, what? What do you mean? Like, that's what I thought. That's what I felt. We can talk about how I thought, what I
I
felt.
was being cynical in a moment and it didn't have any couth. My bad. like, I'm human too, y'all. I'm flawed. It rubbed you. My bad. Like I still was joked out. Like I thought it was funny. Like what the fuck?
But yeah, I said it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I said it. I
Can
loved
you
it.
say anything else?
Yeah,
And it's just to me, it's so funny how Marlo and I'm starting to get this. Yeah, uh-huh. And um Sheree and their
keep
new
ganging
little
up.
and Sonia or Sanya.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to be disappointed in Sanya. I expect this out of Marlo
Sheree and Marlo.
and Sheree and Marlo. This is expected. But Sanya, I was like, girl, you was coming off as a real one for a minute there. Now it kind of seemed like,
But look, since we're talking about Marlo, I don't want you to forget about what you want to say. But there was this one little scene in this particular episode. It was like a cutaway scene where Marlo basically said, because it's raining, now I got to go put my underwear on because I don't want nothing to crawl up.
but you want me to believe, but you want me to believe that hoo ha got cobwebs and you ain't had in 4 5 years. Girl, you is walking around with no panties on the regular. Okay, no bras. Okay, no panties.
I got a question for you. Do women feel some kind of way about other women who wear no underwear?
I don't. I think that no, wait, hold on. Let's backtrack.
That was just, it was a question, and I
Yeah,
wasn't saying
that
that
was
it was
the
you.
womanhood thing. I believe that the vagina needs to air out. But I also believe unless you're wearing pants or some type of shorts or something that kind of covers that area, unless you're being intentional, you should probably cover up because you don't down there because you don't know you could slip and fall. I mean, you at least put on a thong.
A gust of wind.
You know, it ain't yeah, a gust of wind. They'll have all your public hairs out. Oh, you take a, oh, and even if it's wax, all your little kitty bitties is out. Everybody know the whole description of that thing. What are you saying? You ain't got no beard to hide you, and you walking around with no panties on, girl. What if you have to get the busting, and now you ain't got on no drawers?
No, Marlo, I didn't saw it. You had a kid. Find out you had a kid.
All I'm saying is, why you ain't got no drawers on, girl?
I mean, I've watched enough of these reality shows to know that most of these women, go without underwear.
Okay, while going without underwear, though, ain't nobody telling nobody. And then your dress was
Unless
long
you're on
enough. You could
Potomac.
put some drawers on, girl. That dress was long enough. You could have put some drawers on, girl. And you ain't worried about your, secretions messing up your dress.
Oh, that's the thing.
I mean, it depends. It depends on the lady.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, but you just want that all rubbing all over everything you got on.
Okay.
It's discharge. That's all I'm just saying. I'm just saying in the technicality of it. Now I know that people do it. I know that there are dresses you have to wear that call for it. She ain't have on a dress like that though.
Now I will say this: I went to a picnic last year. I was wearing some pink slash peach shorts,
Mm.
and at first until I put them on, I was like, man, I'm not gonna wear no underwear. And then I put them on, and I was like, oh, I gotta wear some underwear. Then I went.
Yo, your junk was out.
Then I went, and like somebody came up to me who was like, "Do you not have on underwear?" And I was like, "No, I'm wearing underwear." Like sometimes you just
No, I'm just
you
you
don't
ain't
know.
no, it's nothing. I'm not saying anything's wrong with not wearing underwear. I'm not shaming a woman who's not wearing underwear. I'm being one funny and two airing out the fact that I don't believe a woman who doesn't wear underwear ain't getting her swerve on. Because it sounds like that cat need to breathe. It sounds like you doing you keeping you
Oh,
keeping
so those two things
right.
go together.
They should.
Oh, so if you're
I'm
not
sure
having
women keep
sex,
their vaginal health together, but I'm saying
so if you're not having sex, it's atypical to go without underwear.
no, that coochie got to breathe anyway.
Okay, okay, okay,
Oh, coochie got to breathe. I think it's one of those like parts of your body. I don't think you're supposed to keep it covered up all the time. But
okay.
usually, to get that kind of freedom, you will want to be at home, just like she said, something crawl up there. Unless she done hit menopause, you fuck around and get some discharge on the your period show up on you, girl, in that dress, in that dress
In Portugal,
in Portugal. You
what what is 50 people as the Walking Dead in the hospital?
girl, you got that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about these safety reasons where you need something to catch. You just need something to catch it. It's one man. You just want to so as a woman, you just gonna always walk out without some type of cover up on it. I'm just saying.
Okay, okay, okay.
I'm just
So back to the episode. So you were
so far.
saying,
I'm so sorry. We were so
no, it was funny. It was it was educational too. It was educational.
the coochie got to breathe. I'm just saying. Ain't nothing not wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with not wearing drawers, but she getting her swerve on.
So the conversation between Drew and Candy, you were saying,
I was glad that Drew addressed it because they try to make it seem like everybody who's friends with Candy won't address Candy. I don't think it's that. I think if you're a real friend, you're not finna air your friend laundry out.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
Like, if I'm gonna approach my
not in
friend,
front of mixed company.
girl, if I'm gonna air you out, I'd have called you on the phone and came to your house, or you
Mm.
could have came to mine, and I'd have been like, and we'd have went in,
Mm-hmm,
and you'd have been like, girl, I'm glad you asked me. Like, none of that in front of nobody, you
mm-hmm,
know.
mm-hmm.
But like on this reality stuff, they're like, you don't hold her accountable. They not God. They can't hold Candy accountable for nothing. And didn't she say it was an ongoing case and she couldn't talk about it? Remember at the beginning when they first tried to get
She
the
did.
scene?
She did.
So why are you making it seem like she just not talking about it to like try to be the queen or something?
So okay, so I've never been sued, right? I do realize, just because it's $1,000, that doesn't mean that it's not serious.
Mm,
So I guess my question is, oh, I'm sorry, and we're jumping. Are
jump.
we through? Are we through
We
with
are.
this? We are. I guess my question is, why not just settle?
I thought the same thing. And the thing about Drew is that thing be lying.
And does
That thing be lying. And
and
over dramatize the situations on the regular. So it's one of those situations where I don't even think that was Kenya's intent to try to make her look simple. I think she really realized like this really bothering this girl. And like, regardless if she got it or not, like, let me just handle this because you was tripping over $1,000.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
don't trip over no $1,000. Like, pretty much like, girl, you're not a pauper no more.
yeah. And you know what? From so if you've watched Atlanta, you
I don't
know.
think it was the $1,000 though. I think it was the other stuff that was going on in her life that made her take everything personally.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because look at the upcoming like stuff.
So for me, I was thinking about it like this. I was like, okay, so we all know that several people have been charged with, not paying bills, especially Sheree.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I'm saying? And she knows that Sheree is on the show with a lot of the same ladies that have been there, during those discussions. And perhaps she didn't want to be, in that category with Sheree. And so that's why she decided to, go down that path of a
Oh
lawsuit.
yeah, the pressure of being seen that way, or even knowing that people that you don't want to just pay nobody. But see, the thing about it is, whether you got it or not, I understand the principle of I'm not paying you,
Hmm.
not even to get rid of you. I'm not paying you at all.
Hmm.
Like I
Hmm.
get that. Like,
Hmm.
and honestly, if we're gonna be real, probably not too long ago, she probably wasn't making that much money like what we think she was.
Right. I agree.
Like you can have a lot of money coming in, but a lot of money will be going out, and you're really living a middle class life on the slick. Like there are restraints, things you can't do, places you can't go. Like look at her wigs when she first started.
My
I,
question is, Ralph, what does Ralph do? Do we know? Have we learned?
I think he a scammer.
You think so?
He gotta be.
He can come scam me.
Oh,
Take me for all I'm worth.
you got a crush on Ralph? That old thought.
Oh,
I don't
he
find
come.
him attractive at all. But
What?
I likes me a tall drink of water.
You sure do.
I likes me a
You
tall.
sure do.
I likes me a tall son. You got to get you a tall, like my husband tall. You got to get you a tall somebody to look up to. Hey, husband,
In my life, most people have been a little shorter than me.
but
A little shorter, a little
you
shorter, a
you
little
you
shorter.
tall.
6'1". I'm 6'1".
You tall. That's why it's cool because you already tall. You don't mind looking down on people see because you tall. You don't have that problem. You know what I'm talking
I like to pick them up. That's what I like to do. I
about?
like to pick them up.
Okay.
You
You
like that?
you
You
strong.
like that? You.
That's good. That's good. See, that's what when you're shorter than see, I'm a tall woman. So like when you are considered, I don't think I'm a tall woman. I have friends taller than me, but like being 5'9", you're considered like a little bit above average. Like you could look
Exactly.
good in the eyeballs.
Uh huh.
The ones you look in the eyeballs, it seem like they'll be intimidated. You know, they want to tell you not to wear no high heels. You know, like sometimes when you also and then you put on heels, you about 6'2", 6'1", depending on so
What
I
kind of heels you got on?
back in the day when I was dating, I used to wear stilettos and stuff.
Okay,
I don't
I
know
can
how,
see you too. I can
yeah.
see you
So I
too.
used to wear the little tall heels thinking I was something. Baby, they don't all like you like that. They be like, girl, come down off that.
Okay.
Put on
Okay.
flat. And so, but if you wear, if you got tall shoes, tall men don't care.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. So we got kind of off track as we've been doing, but it's a good conversation. So we were talking about Drew, Drew
You
lying
said
all
you
the
said
time.
you said he was attractive. That's why we got off course.
Yo.
You talking
Hmm.
about
Yo.
men. That's
Yo.
why you talking about men. If you weren't talking about the men, we would have stayed on course. You are the distraction. It is you.
No, it's Ralph Pittman. He's a distraction. 100%.
Muscles. You like muscles.
Like, uh, no, dude is like, I love his smile and I love his
Hmm,
face. He's, you know, he's attractive.
okay.
He's attractive. Yeah, yeah. And it's not about his muscles because I'm really not attracted to muscles. I'm sorry. So we were talking about Drew and her lying ways.
She is a lie. She a damn lie.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm,
that's the
mm-hmm.
conflict with like feeling sorry for her most of the time. It's like in that moment though, you really listen to her, and when she was like, "That ain't the point," and I was like, "Oh, she's standing on principle," and that's why
Mm-hmm.
her feelings hurt because it probably should have been over. The person's not giving up so she can be embarrassed. You
Mm-hmm.
know, 'cause this is embarrassing when people know you make a whole lot of money and you don't want to pay them for something you feel like you don't, they don't deserve. And people will sue celebrities for anything to get a
Well,
check to get them to be quiet.
I guess my question is, how much do they make on this show? You know, she's not. She's
That's
not.
not the only money they make though. That's the thing. So she think about the money she probably was already making. She probably was already making money from other things, right? But
Residuals from movies.
but living the lifestyle. So you living in a nice home, you driving a nice car, so much of your money going out. Even if this is an additional check, it's a good additional check to where you can do a lot with that. You can now invest in businesses. You can now and then get returns on that, or just do investments in general. You know, that bring your money up, and now you got like status. So things that probably wouldn't have blew up, or things you had in the works that didn't blow up before is now blowing up. So you that money increases, and then this money's doing pretty good. Like I said, I mean, she done got her body done in just a few short seasons she been on here. She done got her body done, her wigs better, her makeup better. That money good. Money good. How Meg said, money good.
She's dressing better, a little better too.
She is, but Marlo ain't letting up on her neck, baby.
Forget Marlo. I ain't got time.
Marlo won't take that stiletto off her neck.
I ain't got time for Marlo. I will say that Marlo be looking good in her confessionals though.
She do though. It ain't just the confessionals. Most outfits Marlo wear, she doing her thing. Now, what you won't hear me do, I say I don't like her attitude. I don't like how she treat people, but you'll never hear me hate on her. She looking good. She gets her fixes, baby. Marlo done look better from the first season she done been on the show to now she is stunning. I'm like, girl,
I will tell you what, they were in the park. It was a an episode where she was going at Nene, trying to get Nene to react, just saying whatever she wanted to, and all she really had on was like black t-shirt, black jeans, and I think black tennis shoes. But somehow she made that shit look so good.
hmm some people just got the style. It ain't got nothing to do with shape. And I be want people to be understanding. Once you know what works for your body and how to dress it, you can put some shit on and that shit just fit like boom. You know what I'm saying? You looking like money. Shit could be cheap as hell, but you looking like because you know how to rock that stuff on your body. I think Marlo, one thing you can't take away from her, baby. That baby got swag. She a fashionista through and through.
So let's talk about the scene that Marlo recorded on her phone, where they're in the room in Sheree's room.
That was Marlo.
Yeah, that was Marlo's phone.
Her big mouth ass.
Well, Candy said on Speak on It, she said, you know, from time to time, Bravo will use what they record and they'll pay them for it. But Candy said that she didn't realize that Marlo was recording.
Mm.
But it's a common practice. It's a common practice that they all do, right? We don't often see Candy because I don't think Candy like I don't think she cares about that. Um,
She don't need it.
exactly. And so you could tell from the angle that Marlo was away from the action, like you know what was going on, but she recorded what was happening. And well, we all know Drew was saying basically that she'd never kissed a woman before. And of course, we remember those episodes. I think they drug that one scene out into about 3 episodes. We'll call them the Bolo episodes.
A bolo night.
Hmm.
Baby, I wish we had this when the bolo night came out. We had scandalous to talk about, baby. That was scandalous. Please just go back to bolo
Pictures
night.
and everything. I would have been. I would have been like, hold the frame, hold the frame.
I be having to tell my husband when I be talking to Jermaine now, that's my alter ego. Don't pay no attention to nothing I'm saying. Don't listen to me. This is my friends. I'm
But look,
talking.
BET Plus, Bolo all day.
I got to see some episodes and I just want to put it out here now. Send me your login so I can finish.
No,
refuse to buy BET Plus. I am black. I should get that for free. I should get that for free.
I
God
gotta
damn
use another email address.
it. I refuse. But when I watched, I said, boy, I'm about to start up here and buy BET Plus.
I was talking to a
Right
coworker
over the
today.
king's men. I mean, the queen's men.
I was talking to a coworker today. She just got into it, and she's like, if she if she didn't have to come to work, she would have been right there in front.
Look, the opening scenes of the first episode.
Yep.
I said, I
Yep.
don't know what's going on. What I paused it. I said, what am I watching? That's why they call it plus. That's why they
Uh-huh.
put the plus on there. Give
Mhm.
them the right to do whatever they want to do with television.
So we all know that Drew has kissed a woman, right? Like plenty of
Well,
people were there.
they played the clip of Drew doing something up in there, showing her behind off.
Hmm.
But she thought it
Enough,
was private.
enough for some of the ladies to comment on the fact that she was kissing this woman, and the woman that she kissed showed up on Candy's Speak on It 2 seasons ago to say, yeah, she kissed Drew. So you have eyewitnesses, you have the person involved, all saying that Drew kissed her. Now I do understand, because I black out and I be asking people, what did I do?
I will not confirm nor deny if there's ever been a blackout. I would just say if I said it didn't happen, goddamn it didn't. If I said it didn't happen, it happened. And you can say I'm lying if you want to. Straight up. There's no recollection on my look. I can put it on my soul, and the Lord won't strike me down because it didn't happen. I have no recollection. I can't say I'm black out though because I don't remember that.
I black out all the time. I ain't gonna lie, and that's part of the reason why, like when I'm going places, especially with people that I don't know, even if I'm with friends, if I'm going around people that I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna drink too much. It's
Oh
just
no,
not gonna,
ain't no damn way.
because I drink too much. I drink, I drink too much. I really do. Did I ever tell you the story? I don't think. Well, did Tisha ever tell you the story? How she went with me to one of my cousin's weddings,
She just
and
said she had a good time.
I drank my ass off. I guess we all left the wedding. Why was I in my car? My car was running. I was in park. I wake up, wasn't nobody around. Nobody. It was like 3 in the morning.
Listen, I've done that, but I did that in graduate school. I swear, I started changing my life. I said, I got to change my. See, what you're talking about is those stories that make you wake up and say, I'm gonna change my life. I'm gonna change my life because that was dangerous. I can't do that no more. I don't know what happened. I'm kicking this. I'm gonna stop kicking it like this.
So I'm willing to believe that she blacked out. But typically, when you black out, you don't know how you got where you got. So you can equivoc you can say, yo, I think I blacked out because I don't remember X, Y, and Z, right?
I think that it was supposed to be a secret because women have secrets. I'm sure men do too. I'm speaking to women, and there are certain things that transpire sometimes and just fun things that women just do sometimes with their friends. And she was clueless, thinking Portia was still going to be around, thinking she had a friendship with this woman and these women, and not knowing that old girl was going to rat and say something. You know,
Well,
it probably wasn't just a kiss. It probably was something additional, and all they
hmm,
talked about is a kiss. Because I
hmm.
feel like Candy got enough integrity where she would just like, even though, because in those situations somebody could pull out the phone and be recording. So I think there's certain topics like certain people know, like we're not talking about that on camera. And I think that was one of those nights because if you notice, the friend of Portia's that had the boyfriend, the Canadian,
I don't remember.
Okay,
I,
the light
I don't
skinned girl
remember that. I do want to say this before you say
never
that.
came back.
Oh, her. Yeah, 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 yeah. And that had everything to do with what I was about to say, because they said it was more than just what was happening with Bolo. It was more than that. Other things were happening in the house. That's what I wanted to comment on. And
They had
so,
quite a night. Apparently, it was one of
mhm,
those supposed to be like, sure, production went home. They put
mhm,
up screens, but not realizing like the house
audio.
is automatically laced with mics to catch y'all
Mhm.
slipping. Like thinking you could just like, "I'm gonna just block everything out. We're gonna guarantee there's no footage. It's still sound." You know what I'm saying? Like y'all not young 20 somethings playing no more. Y'all in your 30s.
But after the episode, don't you think that she would have changed her tune and just be like, "Okay, yeah, I kissed her, whatever,"
Mm-mm.
because she already told that lie to her husband?
Mhm. And she's a married woman. It never
Okay,
happened.
so I'm trying to, like,
Did
if I were
Meg Thee
married.
Stallion say at any point that she slept with Tory Lanez? And I love that lady. No, because you know why? If it wasn't slapping, it didn't happen.
Well, okay, so I do remember the situation vaguely. Was he in a relationship, or like, why was she saying it didn't happen? Or are you talking about the shooting of the toe?
No, I'm just talking about like sleeping with him. Nobody's gonna, especially because first of all, this little bitty ass man. And I don't care like what anybody says. This is long before the case became a thing. But this short, barely attractive man who ended up shooting you. Come on.
So what's her out here? What is Drew's out? What is she gonna do? Or does this have everything to do with the divorce?
I think that he's blaming the divorce. I think this was going to happen anyway. I think we've been watching their relationship unravel since he went to the whichever one of those Carolinas and didn't tell about his location. He put doubt and fear into his marriage that day. Like, and it really doesn't matter what Drew's sexuality is and how she get down, because that's what's really going to be under scrutiny, and that's what's really terrible about it. When really, I understand that her morality, because she's married, is what should really be under scrutiny, not really, her sexual preference. But that's really what's gonna happen. And like either way, her being a church woman, and then she isn't her mom like a pastor,
Mm-hmm.
well, this is extra scandalous. You see what I'm saying for her? So if you're gonna, I get how you like. Why wouldn't she come out and say something? Well, she has so many reasons. That reason is so layered. She's married. She's a pastor's kid, or a deaconess's kid, or a devout church goer. Go to church. All they talk about is church and God goer type of person. So like,
I really
no,
don't want to have a conversation about religion because I just think
you know how them Baptists
it's too
are.
much. It's too much. It's
It's
too
not
much.
all,
It's
and it's
like
coming along, but you know how the
it's too much judgment. It's
traditional
like, come on,
Baptist
man.
church
Like,
is. They're not playing that. What you mean? You was in some scene with some girl kissing on her, and they got the mic because Bolo been gone. You know what I'm saying? What are you talking about? Some most stuff happened. You acting in movies and still going to church making donations is one thing, but them catching you on some type of reality stuff and y'all was drunk having a good time that night, baby, that's scandal. There's so many reasons.
I guess I hear you. I don't know.
It's reasons. And I know it sounds like an old reason to you, but
No,
you,
it doesn't. It
uh,
doesn't because it fits my life.
okay.
It does. It fits my life.
What
I get it. I understand it. But I guess looking at it
do you
from
mean
her
it fits your
perspective,
life?
I'm sorry.
You said it fits your life. How so?
Oh, because that's how I lived for a long time.
You mean like in Louisiana?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
In one of the Bible Belt places? Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if it has so much to do with being in the Bible, the Bible Belt, or maybe it did, but it definitely had a whole lot to do with my family. It was like more like, I didn't want my family to have to deal with that. And then, once I told my mom, that was its own issue. But once I told my mom, it was like, I don't give a fuck. Really,
You had that strength.
whatever, whatever. I don't know. There is a part of me that, like, I get it. I get that, Ralph is using this as a way to divorce her because things are not right in their marriage, which
Well,
is
he's
why
lying to
ultimately
you.
I
I think
think
he's
they need
together for a
counseling.
reason.
I think they need counseling. I I think they need marriage counseling. I think they need to learn how to talk to each other because even though that was part of what they went through, I think that from time to time you need to go back, you need to reassess, you need to find out what the issue is, and then often a lot of people are dealing with trauma from their childhood, and shit, you don't know what happened in your childhood that has triggered you, right? Your parents do everything that they can, but there are times when all parents, all parents slip up, right? Thinking they're doing the right thing and they end up doing the wrong thing.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Like that's why I always say, raising kids is a social experiment. You never know what your kids are gonna resent you for later that you thought you were being vigilant about, and you just gotta accept and be able to receive it when it happens.
What I've at least for me, what I've learned in my experience is that my mom was doing what her mom did to her,
Of course.
right? And she thought that there was absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I'm realizing that nah, there are things that manifest as a result.
Hmm.
Hmm.
That's everybody too, though. I think that's why I said all parents have a hand in it, and it's almost like impossible not to replay it. Because even if you think you're being the perfect parent and you're doing all of what the guide says do, you find out how much your kids resent that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Micromanaging, the constant doting where they needed space,
Hmm. Hmm.
the constant
Hmm.
facilitating in their learning when they would love to discover things on their own and
Hmm.
didn't really need your hands in it.
Hmm.
And now they just kind of want some space from you. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? It's
Hmm.
just, I feel like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You're going to inherit either or a problem. So, do the best at what you know. And once you get there, have some therapy money on deck just to assist and be willing to go when they're ready to talk. Like, receive it. Like,
Yeah, that is definitely what I wish for the two of them. Because I think that they are going to, if they have, I don't know if the kids that they have, if those kids are either of the any of those kids are for the two of them, but I think that they would make some attractive kids. Not to say that's the goal of their relationship, but
come on, Ralph.
Ralph and Drew,
I thought the two youngest ones was for him.
I have no clue.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. She seems to still kind of be bitter about the Josiah thing, which is more. It must have been more to it than was placed on television for her to have a bitter feeling, because the way it read to me when they reviewed it and played it back for television, it was a simple like, I'm not trying to step on this man's toes, and he's still trying to presently build. So if I come in and I adopt your son, it's like I'm blocking him
Right,
from his right to parenthood. I understood that,
right.
and I thought maybe because maybe something happened between her and her past guy that she just couldn't understand, or maybe it was just stand 10 toes down on what you told me, stand 10 toes down on what you said you wanted to do, and she couldn't respect that. But I think that, coupled with all the things that happened before that, with the mystery about where he had been, just made
And all of that happened all at the same time, right?
yeah. Well, I think they happened 2 separate seasons, but we don't know how filming really works.
Hmm. I thought all of that happened on her first season.
The saying he was gonna adopt him and changing his mind. It might have.
Oh, you know what? I think you're right. I think I think they had a conversation in the first season, and so we were thinking, oh, it's gonna happen. And then the beginning of that second season that she was on, we were finding out, why he didn't.
Okay.
You're right. You're right.
What else happened? Did you see how Sheree was when she went to talk to Drew in the first place?
Keep talking.
When she went outside to relieve her from crying, and even which I give mad props to what's her name,
Drew, Sheree, Kenya, Sanya.
Marlo.
Oh,
Like I give big props. She was like, "This your guest. Go talk to her."
hmm
It's like she's so good at like telling Sanya and Sheree how to act, but it's like when they get together, they just become three messy peas in a pod. Three messy peas in a pod. It's almost like,
I don't
ooh,
know.
we found our clique, so we can fight back now. And it's like,
I
I
don't
don't,
know. I
I
was
don't
I
think
was I was seeing Sanya a little different in this particular episode.
I think that they're like a clique and they're operating as like a female bougie army. Like they're with the wit and with the shits, and I'm gonna hold someone accountable, and I'm gonna talk about this, and I'm gonna slick or digs, and I'm gonna laugh when I'm not supposed to because I'm supposed to be somebody's friend, and
I
then I'm
see
gonna bring
Sanya.
up things. It's like
I see Sonya a little different. I think in this particular, maybe I'm confusing this episode with the last episode, but I think Sonya was just like, nah, it was last episode. Um, when what was it? When Sheree was talking about ain't none of y'all buy nothing from She by Sheree, and then Sonya was just like, hold up, dude, we tried. The site was down. We had this whole text thread. We were all excited to purchase, but your site was down. And no, I'm not gonna live my life on on a computer so that I can purchase something. It, it,
that
it
shit
doesn't happen that way.
want to buy it.
It
And
just doesn't.
honestly, I think that she could be a real one. I think she's aligned with the wrong ladies.
I agree.
You ever seen that in real life? Like a chick that just is so cool, but you can't be as close to her because she's aligned with the wrong people.
Happens all the time.
It's like, girl, if I didn't think you was gonna go run tell clowns, we would kiki. Like, I love you. My God. But that's just fun. I can't talk to you about anything.
I'm usually the one that people that people don't like in a group, but individually they like me. Yeah.
I can see that.
No, no, no. Well, in terms of work, because I'm like the grade level chair, and they see me differently. They see me as like almost administration, when in truth, administration tells me what they want me to do, and I got to tell other teachers. It's not that, they we had a conversation together and we decided we were going to do whatever, whatever,
I'm a
whatever.
delegate and I'm delegating.
Yeah, I'm being delegated to, and then I have to delegate to them, right?
Yeah,
But they see me as like a, I don't know, like a snitch or whatever. But when they have private conversations with me, they're like, dang, you my dude.
yeah. I think that's a gap in people, and that's not a gap in you though. But so you can understand. So that's you. That's how you can relate to Sanya.
Hmm.
So that's how you see Sanya, like how you see yourself.
Yeah.
I could see that. When you say that, I can see that because I believe that I can be seen away as well when it comes to that because I don't like. I'm different though. Whenever people want to kiki and talk, I give them the space to vent, and then I'm not gonna tell anybody what they say.
I'm the exact same way.
Yeah, I'm not. They're mad. They feel victimized. All they needed to do was vent, and then they need to go back and do their job. Give them the space, keep it to yourself, and move on. Let's all move on. Whatever they said, however they feel, isn't really worth addressing because I've already told them how they can help address it with you. They said they don't want to, and I also advised to them they need to move on. So, like, either you address it or move on, move forward. Don't hold a grudge. Like, come on. So I
Mhm.
feel you, but with that makes people feel like you the ops. You the damn ops. I don't know if you telling or if you not telling. Usually people end up telling on themselves though, long before I do. It was like, I didn't care how you felt. Now you done went in the office and cussed everybody out.
But you know what? I can't wait until this next episode. This next
Okay.
episode has got to be. Look, this particular episode that we just saw was a little slow for me. I don't know about you. It was a little slow, but
Yeah.
this next episode that they air has got they gotta bring it. They gotta come with it.
Can we talk about how cousin, touchy feely cousin is shady towards Kenya?
Who we talking about?
Talking about the karma statement with Drew.
Give me more.
She was sitting. Okay, remember when Kenya bust her ass?
Yeah.
And then they were all sitting in the well, not that all. Drew and is her name Courtney?
Who, by the way, I don't like. There's something about her that I don't like.
I don't either because I don't think she's not only passive aggressive, she can get kind of like aggressive, like trying to assert herself with her, like she know what she doing. We all know when we get to doing this how it might go. She's not unconscious of her body. She knows because at our big ages, hello, and I'm not even old, but I'm just saying like I'm mature. I'm mature enough,
You
and
just
so
call that
I
woman old. You just call that woman old.
no, I'm calling them mature too. At our mature ages, I'm calling her more mature. At our mature ages, we know what.
But I
Yeah,
think she only does that because she doesn't think that anybody's gonna hit her. She don't know these women
somebody could snatch your ass. You
because she
take
don't
a
look
lot
like she got hands.
all day.
She ain't got no
I think that
hands.
she's just trying. I think she's trying to get a peach. I think she's trying to be interesting enough to get a peach. But
It's
usually, like
not
people don't.
going to happen.
What you think about Manietta?
I think Manetta has a better chance. I think Manetta, though, she's still lacking a scene or two, right?
She's lacking substance.
hmm
She doesn't do anything that makes you go, "I want
I
to hear more
think
about her life."
I think she can be a friend of the show again.
Oh yeah, she'll consistently do that. But I need to see more from Manietta to make me go, "Girl, what be going on in your life?" Right now, I just think she got a good life, and it's not even worth like digging into because we're not gonna get any type of
Shit.
drama. And I hate to say it, but drama makes great television.
And she gave 5,000 to the charity, so she's got to have some money.
Well, I think all their friends rolling in a little penny.
They all have okay. So according to Candy on Speak on It, the only two that had a problem with giving money, the only two that had a problem with giving money was Sheree and Marlo. Everybody
I
else,
might be fronting and stunting a little bit, but I think she spend that money on them clothes. I think she fronting and stunting to get on the show, just like she
yeah.
still got a townhouse. Girl, why?
But you know you
You
going to
worldwide, remember? You can
you
go to
know
New
you
York.
going to a fundraiser. You know you going to a fundraiser.
She had to probably raise that fund. She probably had to raise that fund to pay that money.
That's why back in the day when I was when I was connected in Baton Rouge, people would talk about a fundraiser. Not me. I ain't going.
You going?
You ain't put me on the spot. I have
I
some other
want you to
plans.
get you to pledge your dollar.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. After the fact, I'd be like, okay, well, I'll give you like $50 or 25 or whatever.
I'm one of
Mm-mm.
those people that say, I'm a teacher, right?
Back then, I was lobbying though.
Oh,
I was lobbying, and people thought that I had a lot of money. I really didn't.
damn. Oh, so you
Mhm.
came from lobbying to teaching?
I was a lobbyist. I
Really?
lobbied. I lobbied in education. I did education lobbying.
So what? We just need to talk. Oh, I just need to. I bet your life is just so interesting about like all the interesting lobbying you did. I
Did
think that's so
past
cool.
tense. Past tense.
I think that's so cool though. That must have been fun.
It had its moments. It really did. I didn't like lobbying the state legislature. I liked local level lobbying because I had a whole lot more. mm, I don't want to use the word power, but something close to power.
Okay.
On the state level, them legislators, they didn't give a damn. They were gonna vote the way they wanted to vote.
Every time against the little guy. Every single time for the vote against the little guy, even if they still the little guy.
Nah, where that money at? If you gave them money, and we talking about at least $5,000, they would vote for you.
Hmm.
Nothing but the Republicans. Nothing but the Republicans. The Democrats, they didn't give a damn. Oh, you give
Mm.
me this money, they still voting the way that they want to vote.
Mm.
Republicans, give me the money.
So you had high horse people on the Republican side and pay me people on the Republican side. Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Interesting.
For the Democrats, I will say this: it restored my sense of, okay, these people are doing it for the real, if that makes
Mm.
sense. Republicans, however, they're the ones that made me cynical
Mm.
because they didn't give a damn. They could walk into a meeting talking about, I'm going to vote this way because, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but we want to give you this. We want to give you this donation, but we really need you to vote like this. Well, why should I vote like this? You give them some stuff, I got you, just like that. Democrats, I'm not taking your money. I am going to vote like this.
Mm.
And we're constantly trying to convince them, da 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 da. And then at the end of the day, we still give them the money, knowing they're not going to vote the way that we want them to vote.
I don't like to still get see. I'm in the middle. I don't believe in. I believe I have to look it up that I'm independent. I don't want to just I don't want anyone to have that kind of voting power over me. I think if more people transition out of being labeled as a Democrat, they would work harder to remain in office. Especially if they saw a massive drop in the label and they noticed that everybody kind of went independently, they'd be like, "Oh no," because then you got to open up the bracket for both sides. I'm not picking a Democrat anymore. I can pick anybody I want.
I think the problem, though, is that we have independents, and all of those independents believe so many different things that
Yeah,
it's harder to coalesce around those independents. And so the independents with a
fizzles.
T at the end, right? They can never get to where they need to get. Whereas, like you go to other countries, you have 10 different parties, all vying for votes, but these parties are all massively funded,
Hmm.
right? And people are voting for their interests. So it's a little different here in the United States. The United States was never set up to have lots of different parties. It was always set up to have two parties.
Huh. Virtually, they really do. But you see, there's been a campaign basically to keep people from voting just Democrat across the line and blindly.
Ain't gonna stop. I'm still voting Democrats. I don't give a damn. Dog catcher Democrat.
Well, you can't vote Republican. You can't trust them right now. Not a one. Not a one. They'll be like, let's take us back to 1765. No, get them out of here.
Yeah, I don't mess with. Anyway, thank you all for joining us. We start talking about all kinds of other stuff.
Wow, you know we
Look, we still need to do our news show,
We do.
huh?
We do.
We do, because clearly we have a lot that we could be talking about.
I'm gonna tell you why I want you in the show this show.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you all so very much for joining us. That ends